like. How y'all doing out there? You all are here for today's presentation of our assistive technology spotlight. And my name is Michael Guajardo. I work for the San Antonio Lighthouse. I'm the assistive technology supervisor there at the Lighthouse. And I'm blind myself completely. I have eye called retinitis pigmentosa, so I use a lot of the technology that I'm talking about today. Presenting. Mostly what my presentation is going to consist of is a combination of some tips and hints on some recommendations on some apps, and I'm going to demonstrate some alternate uses of things like Ira. You all heard of Ira? Yeah. Yes. Great service. I'm going to talk a little bit about that and use it in some ways that maybe you all haven't heard of before. So I just this past week finished school. I finished a master's in corporate organization communications. I can't tell you how relieved I am. But the entire program that I did was all online, so I had to use a lot of this assistive technology that I'm going to be talking about today. And one of the main uses of assistive technology was with the Ira service, but not in the way you might think. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. So my perception, or my perspective rather, on assistive technology is there's three ways in which we use it, right? We have our work, right? We use it for work, and that counts both job and school. That comes out under the same category. Play, because we play, right? We like to be entertained, and so we use assistive technology for that. And then the third way that we use assistive technology is for independence. So those are the three topics that I'm actually going to be covering with assistive technology. The first thing I want to start off with is about 3 weeks ago, we had an Apple, what do we call it? An Apple event, right? Oh, yeah. And they were announcing some new products and things. So I want to talk a little bit about that because so many of us in the blind community do use Apple products. And don't worry, you Android users, I do have some info on Android as well. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna sorry, I'm Apple. But not exclusively Apple, because I do use Windows. I do not use a Mac. Sorry, I'm a PC guy as far as that goes. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what we heard at the recent Apple event. They made a bunch of announcements, and I wanted to point out some things that I had read about and heard about regarding some of the new iPhones that were released. So they have a new line of Apple iPhones that they're releasing. They got an upgraded iPhone 13, and yes, and they have an upgraded iPhone SE 3 model, right? I'm kind of partial to that SE. I'll tell you why. I am devoted to that home button and the fingerprint scanner. I'm not really big on the facial recognition that the other phones have. Now, maybe at some point I'll get onto that, but right now I do use the SE 2020, and that's really the one that I wanted to focus in on, because actually the iPhone 13 just has some improved hardware, improved camera, has the new A15 Bionic chip in it. But the SE3 also has this new A15 Bionic chip. And the reason that's important is because how is the battery on your phone, on the iPhone? Are you like, oh, this is like an awesome battery that I have on my phone? Is that what you say every morning or at the end of the day? No. Mine lasts long. That's your last? Okay. Which one you got? I have the XX. No, okay. Well, who else has problems with their battery not lasting very well? No issues? I had mine for about 3 years. 3.5 years since the battery went down the window. Yeah. Well, what I can tell you about the new phones is that they did absolutely nothing to the battery. It's the same old battery, but that comes with a caveat. While they didn't improve the battery, they improved the processor. So the processor on the new iPhone is this A15 Bionic chip, and that is where all the magic happens. With this new chip that they have on the phone, it is much more efficient in the way it everything works on the phone. And because of that improved efficiency, the battery life on the new phone is extremely good, as what I've been hearing, what I've been reading. And that's good because my phone doesn't last very long. And maybe it's because of the amount of things I do on my phone. I'm constantly on my phone. I'm always watching YouTube videos. And so, especially at the end of the day, you use Beatrice. Yeah. Yeah. So. Your battery. Yep. Right. That's okay. I'll talk louder. Yes. Okay. So can everybody still hear me? Yeah. Okay. So the new battery does a lot better with handling all of the things that you do on your phone. So if you're watching videos, if you're using cloud services on your phone, it does a remarkable job of battery efficiency. So you're going to find that your battery life will last a lot longer, only just because of the fact that they improve the processor. So that's something to look forward to. Everything else on the SE3 is pretty much the same as the 2020 model. And they have an improved camera is about it. But everything else is about the same. So it has the home button, if you like using the home button. I like it mostly because of the fingerprint scanner. It's not so much the home button itself, it's just having that fingerprint scanner that I appreciate. Of course, with the iPhone 13, it doesn't have a home button anymore. That uses. Okay.
Yes, ready.
Oh, okay.
Change the battery.
I'll take it.
Oh, he took the mic because he's changing out the
Oh, I
battery.
see. All right. So so that's something we can look forward to with the new iPhones. And those have already been released. They come in the 64 gig, 128, 256 storage models. They did raise the price a little bit on the intro model. The 64 gig will run you around 420, something like that. For the 64 gigs, you're going to pay a little more. I usually go with the 128 or the 256. I don't think you really need more than that. Some of the other models have like a terabyte, and you're going to pay over $1,000 for that. And I can't really see myself needing that much space on my phone. So those were some of the highlights that I heard from the Apple event. So let's talk a little bit about some of the apps that we can use on our smartphone. So I have my iPhone here. Yeah, so I've got my little Millennium Falcon Bluetooth speaker here, in case you can't see it. But I wanted to show one here. I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison of a couple of apps that we use that we can use on the iPhone and on the Android phone. So they came out with this app called Seeing AI. Okay. Thank you. So they came out with the Seeing AI app a couple of years ago from Microsoft. And it's been an extremely useful app. It's free. It's you can find it on the App Store. It's unfortunately not available on Android, but I'll be talking about an alternative app that you can get that works pretty much the same as Seeing AI. It's called Lookout. And but on the iPhone, the Seeing AI app is kind of a Swiss Army knife type of app. It does multiple things. It can recognize text, which I use pretty frequently for going through my mail. If you go to my house, I have like a stack of mail that I have to go through, and I have others that live in the household as well, and so I'm always having to dig to find my mail. And so it's really useful for that. But other things, reading packages, reading mail that comes in, and things like that works really well. Then you have the money identifier, which I think is the thing that I use the most often on that. The app allows you to also scan a document and read it. So I'm going to demonstrate it real quick.
Folder view list view, Google Chrome, 307.
Yes.
To move to items, use the arrow keys. To edit the selected item, press F2.
Yeah. I'm going to open Seeing AI. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of,
but I am gonna say this, I kind of like the way you got the whistle spirit. Oh, we can look. I can understand. I can.
Probably one of those buses is mine.
can understand what it's saying though.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Technical difficulties as usual.
Can you tell us the name of the app again? Because I missed it.
Yeah, Seeing AI is the name of the app.
Seeing AI.
Yes,
Just the word seeing in the name.
yes. Here. Okay, I'm gonna have to explain it then. It's not gonna.
Michael, are you looking for the app? Because I have it on mine.
You have the Sing AI?
I sure do.
Oh, awesome, all right.
Doesn't have voice over. Yeah. Okay. All right, so. All right.
The flashlight's
Oh,
on.
oh, can I- oh, yeah.
Lies count?
Find it by science. Oh, okay.
Hey Siri, turn on voiceover. I'm gonna do. Okay.
No, it's
All right, the light is still on.
The light is still on.
Okay, yeah, your flashlight.
Jeez.
So sorry.
I'm not good at technology.
Just-
Michael is.
just.
Don't worry, I do the same thing all the time.
Just tell Siri to turn the flashlight
Oh,
off.
hey Siri, start. I'm gonna start. Hey Siri, turn on the flashlight. Okay. Hey Siri, turn on the flashlight. Let's try it on. All right, you got it. He's got it. Turn on the voiceover.
Oh, here we go, Got it.
All right.
Hey, all right.
It's a couldn't count.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got Seeing AI open, and so like I said before, this has multiple functions on it. I'm gonna go back to the main screen. So they call them channels, and the channels have different functions. So one of them is a money identifier. I'm gonna do that one first.
I don't have any.
I have
Give me some money.
a currency, all right? So I'm gonna take out a couple of bills and we'll see how it, they can identify it.
$100 bill.
No, if you not have $100 bill.
Who has $100 bill?
I know. I'm gonna make
Was that the
it
microphone?
disappear.
All right, so what I'm doing is I'm holding my phone, and I'm gonna hold the bill right below the camera on my phone, on the back of the phone. All right, so that's a $20 bill right there, right? Okay, so let's see what else I got in my wallet. Probably not much more than that. I'm a broke man. Okay, so let's see what this is. Okay, so same thing, I'm putting the bill right above the, or my phone right above the bill. All right, so that's $1. All right, so that'll buy me something at McDonald's, I think.
Dollar menu?
Yes, I know, right, $6. Okay, so that's one of the functions is the money identifier. Another one is the quick text. We can switch to that channel. Okay, so I have a book over here that I'm going to take a snapshot of. this is one of the books I was using in one of my classes. So I'm just gonna, I have the book out in front of me. I'm gonna put the phone right above it, scan one of the pages. Okay, that's a little too fast.
Yeah. People who are not-
language, English, volume, speaking of words, speaking rate, 60%.
Okay, too fast. a little.
Home, apps, seeing AI, active. Seeing AI, active. Seeing AI, channel, short text, adjustable.
And then, scan the page.
Acknowledgements. We want to acknowledge the many clients with whom we work over the past 20 years. They face working challenges, and we've been fortunate to be able to contribute to their success. Their
So
intel,
there, what it's doing is it's using the video camera on your phone. So I'm not having to like sit there and take a snapshot or a picture of the page. It's using the video camera. So as soon as you point it at some text, it's gonna grab it right away and then start reading it. So that, you can imagine many uses for something like that. And then you also have the document reader,
recognizing curriculum.
which is kind of the same thing, but with that one, it does take a picture of it, and then you have that available to you where you can save the document, you can share it with other people. If you have anything that you scan, you want to keep.
Menu, curriculum, menu,
And then you have
channel, recognizing English.
another
Channel, short
channel.
text, recognizing English. Channel, short text, adjustable document. Product,
Okay, product. So this comes in pretty handy. Here. I've got some food products over here. And we're gonna find out what it is.
Is that a can?
I've got a few things. This is a little packet that I have. It's rice,
Okay.
Uncle Ben's rice,
Okay.
but I have no idea what kind of Uncle Ben's rice. So I'm gonna point my phone at it.
processing, whole grain brown rice.
All right, so it's whole grain brown rice. So what that did is it actually saw the label on here on the front of the package and it was able to recognize it. So there's like a huge database of products that it can recognize. And all you can do is point it at something and it can tell you what it is. So that comes in pretty handy.
And does the flashlight come on all the time when you're doing it? Because it's on.
Oh, that's something I have it set to auto. So yes, right now it does come on every time.
Oh.
Yeah, but that you can turn off. It's-
Excuse me much.
Yeah.
This is Joe. I just want, does that, you have to point it toward the label itself or do you have to do the barcode?
No, it's not doing the barcode. It's recognizing the product itself.
Oh,
Yeah, so when I point it at the front of the item, it recognizes, it compares it to all these products that it has in its database. And it can tell you what it is.
But how do I know it's the front of the box?
You have to trial and error. So you point it at on one side, if it doesn't say anything, you flip it over and look at the other side. And then it'll tell you what it is. So that's how the Seeing AI app works. Now I'm going to show you the Android equivalent, which is very similar. It's called Lookout.
Excuse me, Mike, before you do that,
Sure.
I'd like to share,
Uh-huh.
my hairdresser put an app on my phone and it's called Be My Eyes. Is anyone familiar with
Yeah,
that? Yeah. It's the same principle
Mm-hmm.
and it's volunteers from all over the world.
Yes.
And then you just hold your phone to the package. And it's the greatest thing. It's helped me a lot. They help me with my mail.
Yeah.
It's a great app for if you don't have that phone.
Right. That one is the difference between that one and what I was showing you here is that this is an app. It's just a pure app that handles that. The Be My Eyes and the Ira app that I mentioned earlier, you have live people who are able to assist you. So really anything you need help with, where you need sighted assistance, you can use that app to get access to a live either a volunteer in the case of Being My Eyes or an agent with something like Ira.
And they're very nice people and they're
Yeah,
very courteous and I got somebody from England, I got somebody from Africa.
Oh wow,
And they're just so pleasant and they're, very, very.
and very patient.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the key. So I just wanted to share with that.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, that's another one of the apps that I do recommend to people, especially the Be My Eyes one because it's free. You don't have to pay a monthly
And
subscription.
no one
fee.
knows anything about the history or how it got together, people who volunteer? I would love to know about the history or.
You know, I have not looked that
No
up.
one
Yeah,
knows that.
I'm sure there's a pretty good story behind that. Yeah, I'll have to look that up myself. Okay, so I've got the Android phone. I have to set down the microphone again. Turn it off.
New tab dash Google Chrome, full bar, address and search for.
So Android, I've got,
No SIM card, emergency call zone.
so this is the Google Pixel that I'm using here.
Wait, which one is it?
The Pixel, it's the latest model.
Is it the 6?
Is that the latest model?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Pretty good.
No SIM card. On screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's.
Yeah, it's a pretty big phone. It's about 6 inches, I'd say. More than 6 inches.
No SIM card.
Okay, so I'm gonna open the lookout app. I can get the volume.
Collapsed. Everyone mode has ended. Look, expand. Look, collapsed. Unlock. Access lock screen. Access 130 sound captions. Lock screen. 1220. Selected. No SIM. Battery done. Collapse. Expand. Collapse. Expand. Collapsed. Unlock. Device unlocked. Pixel launcher. Lookout.
Okay, so here's the app, and this thing does kind of what the iPhone does.
Messages. Chrome. Camera. Search. Voice. Google Lens. Button. Home. Lookout. Messages. Phone. Messages. Phone. Lookout.
I'm
Lookout
gonna grab
Explorer
the
mode.
products I had over here.
Change language. English selected. Button. English.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the text recognition.
Signed in as Michael. Turn camera on. Presets. Turn camera on. Turn camera on. Presets. Selected. Explore beta mode. Move labels beta. Text. Text. Try out handwriting recognition in documents mode. Not now. Button.
Okay, I don't want that.
Lookout text mode. Help. Button.
All right, so I've got the book out in front of me again. I'm just gonna point the camera at the text.
What's getting in the way? Humor, until leadership takes action on employee input and communicates that action to employees so they can act into the suggestions they have made. That creates the new emergency.
It's immediate. It's also using the video camera on this one as well.
Change language.
This one also has a money
Selected.
identifier.
Site, turn camera off, presets, explore beta mode, selected, text, documents, currency,
Currency.
selected.
So I'm gonna do it the same way. I'm gonna grab my
Cancel that one.
wallet
Low light,
and we'll just scan my
flashlight
bill on
Lookout.
here and see if it gets it right. So hovering the phone right above the bill.
$20.
Yeah, got it. All right, so the Android users are not liking the cold. We have an app that works just as well as seeing a guide. It's called Lookout. You can find it in the Google Play Store. Okay. All right. So next thing, I wanted to demonstrate a couple of
Currency mode,
things for the
12:27 p.m.
for those of you who
Screen off.
have difficulties with recognizing your medications. You have problems with that. Medicine bottles. Do you have problems reading medicine bottles?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let me turn the microphone back on here. There we go. Okay, so this is called, what I have up here in the front, it's this little round device. And it's called the Script Talk. And it's made by Envision America. And the Script Talk is this little gadget that is able to recognize medications. Now it has to be through a pharmacy that is participating in the program with this company that makes this device. And the way it works is they'll put like a little radio signal thing on the bottle, at the bottom of the bottle. And you set it on top of this device, the Script Talk itself. I'm going to turn it on. And I have a little demonstration pill bottle. Okay. And so I have this little pill bottle, and I'm just gonna sit it right on top of, sit it right on top of it. And it'll read the information. So it's scanning it.
John J. Smith, medication, amoxicillin, 250 milligrams capsule. Instructions: take 1 capsule 3 times daily. Quantity: 30 capsules.
I can pause it, I can move through it, through the,
Prescription date: June
go
10th.
line by line.
Prescription used by June 10th, 2022.
So the local pharmacies that they have here in town that use them are on a list that they have. And I will show it if you're interested in that. You can come to me right after the presentation and I can tell you which pharmacies are participating. There's some Walmarts that are participating here in San Antonio. There's also some Walmarts in the Shirts and Silo area that have this option where you can get this. This device is free. You go to the pharmacy, you say you'd like to participate in that, and they will provide you with this device for free. And then any medications that you get will include the little radio tag and on your medicine bottles, you just put it right on top of this device, and it'll tell you what the medication is, it'll tell you how many milligrams, expiration date, any relevant information that you need to know about your medications. All right, so that's called the Script Talk, made by Envision America. I'm gonna show another gadget. So I have another device by Envision America, and this is called the ID Mate. This is a barcode reader. Now there are different devices, alternatives that are similar to this. It works by using barcodes, and it'll scan anything on that's in the database, and it'll tell you what it is. It'll tell you what it is, and it'll also give you additional information, just depending on what it is you're scanning. So I'm going to power it up. And let it boot up. So this is a rather expensive device. This one is called the ID Quest. There are other less expensive devices, but the only difference I would say is that they don't have the huge database that this thing has. This device has about a 4 million product database built into it. So it can recognize a lot of products. And if it happens to not recognize the product, you can make your own recording. And the alternative devices, that's basically how that works. They don't usually have a database built into it. So you have to find out what the product is before, and then you can record it. So the next time you scan it, you can, it'll tell you what it is. So I'm gonna put the microphone down again. That doesn't roll off the table again, the microphone. And I'm gonna grab a couple of these food items again. So I have this can here. There it went. So I have this can here, and I want to find out what it is. So this uses the an infrared signal, kind of scan for the barcode. That's one that was chicken, right? Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to grab my other item here. Got a box here. No clue what it is. So let's see. Let's scan it. She did. You're not the ID.
No, but
I can scan for the barcode. We'll look around for it. It's got an omnidirectional barcode reader. So I've got to find it. Right, so tell me what it is. Oh, here's the cooking direction. So I'm going to arrow down.
You want 4 tablespoons of margarine, 1/4 cup of milk. Cooking instructions: 1. Boil water. Stir the macaroni. Cook 8 to 10 minutes for until tender. Stirring occasionally. 2. Drain. Do not rinse. Return to pan 3. Add margarine, milk, and cheese sauce. Mix well.
Now, not every product that you scan on here is going to give you all that information. This one will also give you like the nutrition facts. So if you're diabetic, that can certainly be of use. This device here would normally cost you a little over $1,000, right? I actually was able to get this on eBay. I always tell people, if there's an assistive technology that you'd like to get, check eBay for some of these, because sometimes people just need to just want to get rid of this stuff. Sometimes they don't realize what they have. Other times they just want to get it to somebody else who can use it. And I was able to put a bid in on this device. I was willing to pay $500 for it. I was gonna pay up to $500 for it. So I put a bid of 500 on it, knowing that this thing costed over $1,000, but I was gonna pay up to 500. I was the only bid. I was the only bid that was on it. And the first bid was $115. So I got it for $115. Yeah. So you can find a lot of assistive technology on media like that. So it's worth a look, you know. Now, some of the other devices they have are something like called a pin pal. There's another one called a pin pal, where it's kind of similar to this, but it doesn't have the database. Only thing about
Press the power button.
Okay.
Hit the power down. Press any.
Yes.
It's 1:34 p.m.
Okay,
No
whatever.
SIM card, emergency calls only.
Okay, so let's see. I just have one last thing I wanted to show to everybody. And this is really useful if you are a college student, or if you do a lot of things with your Microsoft Word and you're creating documents.
Settings. To move to an item, press the arrow keys. Settings. Status. Show available networks button. To activate, press spacebar.
Okay, so you are using JAWS. Oh, yeah, I'll use the other keyboard. You're using JAWS and you're trying to do some editing in your document. And one of the features that JAWS has is something called a place marker feature. So I'm going to demonstrate that.
PC. File Explorer. Tree View. Level 0. Quick act. Download. Select items. Team Viewer. Vocalizer. Expressive -2. 2. 1. 2. Team Viewer. Script. SID Lighthouse. SID Light. Sample Research Paper. Techu Services. Sample Research Paper. Techu Services Presentation. Set Demo 1-Spurs.
Okay, so I got a little document here talking about the Spurs.
Document 1 left. Or an auto recovered right or in left. Bracket compatibility of the QWERTY keyboard training. Keyboard obstacles time for e-career. Well, however, on his training on JAWS and Windows.
Okay, well,
The QWERTY keyboard.
my Spurs article disappeared. There's some other text in here. So what the place marker feature allows you to do is it kind of works like a bookmark. When you are using it and you open up the document, you can go back to the spot where you were at. So like say I wanted to get to this spot here in the document near the bottom.
On his own, however, he is
Right there. I want to move right back to this exact spot in the document. So I'm going to put a place marker there.
save document before marking place. Document 1 left. Or an auto
Oh, that's fine.
demo 1 dash.
There we go. There's my Spurs article. Because I'm going to go down. And I'm going to put another place marker on.
Are proud to have so many. Blank. Blank. Star Spurs players, coaches, front office person.
Okay, so right there's where I want to put the place marker. So I'll do a keyboard command, Control Windows K. And then I'm going to go back up to the top. And then I'm going to do the keyboard command.
Spurs assisting the community.
And now I'm going to do Windows Alt K. And let's read it.
Spurs assisting the community. Document 1 left. Demo 1. PC, blank. Community outreach. Community outreach. Leaving menus, document 1 left or in auto. Time for each of his training set. Time for each of the.
Right there with another place marker. Put it top, Control, Windows Alt K.
The QWERTY keyboard training with Wange went well. The QWERTY keyboard.
Exactly what I wanted.
Document 2. Capital T. Caps lock off. Blank. Blank.
Today is Saturday.
Today.
It's like running really slow or something.
Blank. Today is Saturday.
So I'm going to use the place marker feature again this time, but instead of using it like a bookmark, what I'm going to do is use it to select text. So selecting text is always kind of difficult, especially if you're trying to select a lot, like a huge paragraph. So what you do is you go to the beginning of the line where you want to start selecting text. You put a place marker, a starting point, Control Windows K, And then you go to the end of the area where you're going to select text, and you're going to hit insert, space, and the letter M. And it highlights all of the text. It's just not telling me what it's doing.
Today is Saturday.
Insert, space, highlights the text, you hit Control C.
Nothing selected.
That's not doing it.
Today is Saturday. Documents 2-Word.
All right, so, okay, sorry about that. It's not cooperating for me this morning. It's typical whenever you want to do it. So basically, the way the feature works, it works only in Microsoft Word, and it's called the place marker feature. And the command for it is Control Windows K. That creates a place marker. That creates your starting point. And then you go to your end of the text that you want to select. So if you have a paragraph, go to the very end of that paragraph, and you do a layered command, a JAWS layered command called insert, space, bar, and then the letter M. And that will highlight everything in between those 2 points, the starting point and the end point. And then you can either copy it, you can delete it, you can do any kind of manipulation you want to do to the text, is how the place marker feature works. You can also do that on the internet. So if you're on a website and you go to try to select text, it works exactly the same way. And it can really speed things up if you're trying to copy notes or you find an article on a website you want to keep. You create the place marker, select the text, and then you can copy and paste it into a Word document and save it so that you have it for later. So that's basically how the place marker feature works. Unfortunately, we run out of time. I have some other things I wanted to talk about, but this is going to be recorded on video. So if you want to go back or review anything that I've talked about today, it's going to be available. Do we know where, when?
We will get details.
Okay, we'll get to it. Well, it'll probably be on the website. Go ahead.
Is the Sync AI a free app?
Yes, Sync AI is free. That one and the Lookout app for Android is they're both free.
I have a question as well.
Uh-huh.
On the Seeing AI
Yes.
app, now, the quick read channel, will it read you like the label reader did with the cooking ingredients?
Well, wait, for Sync AI? No, that one just tells you the product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But under the quick read, it won't.
It will do that. If you do the quick read, you can find where the instructions are.
Right,
If you're able to find that, then yes, it will read it.
okay.
I think what would probably work better for that though, instead of using AI, is to use Be My Eyes.
Be My Eyes is great.
Yeah,
Right.
because now you have a real person helping you and they can see whatever's going on through the camera, and they will be able to read you both corrections.
I use it when I get dressed. Like, what color is it?
Yes.
I don't wanna walk out of the house.
Yeah, you want to go out matching, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get your laptop to talk to him?
So I have a program on my laptop called JAWS. So you have to purchase that program in order for it to talk, but that's not the only option that's available. There are other screen readers you can get that are actually free. There's one called NVDA that you can download and install on your Windows PC.
What's it called again?
NVDA, Nancy, Victor, David, Apple. NVDA is how you can download it. It stands for Non-Visual Desktop Assistant. That's what that stands for. Yes. And that's available on PC. On your Windows 10 PCs, right? You already have a built-in screen reader. It's not going to have all the bells and whistles of something like JAWS or NVDA, but it's good in a pinch. Sometimes I'm using JAWS, like right now, it wasn't cooperating with me, or it crashes on me, and I need my computer to talk. Windows 10 has something called Narrator built into it. And it's not the nightmare screen reader that we used to have back like in the Windows XP days. This is much, much better. And you turn it on by hitting Control Windows Enter on your keyboard. You hold down the Control key, Windows key, hit the Enter, and that will activate Narrator whenever you need it. You can even do a Windows installation with that. It used to be a blind person could not install Windows or reinstall Windows if they had to. Now, when you do that, all you have to do is activate Narrator, and it'll read everything that comes up on the screen for installation. So that is available as well. And it actually uses the same keyboard commands that JAWS uses. So if you use JAWS before all your reading commands, Narrator uses the same commands. And so you do control Windows enter to turn it on, control Windows enter to turn it off.
Michael, on the phone that, is it SE20, or what's the name of the phone that you talked?
The new one, it's the SE3.
Three.
Yes.
Three, okay.
It's
Do
the
you know
third
cost?
generation model, yeah. I've also heard it referred to as the SE 2022.
2022, okay, because I'm getting ready to buy a new phone.
Yeah, that one, it just came out this last year in March.
Okay, and so where do you suggest a person to go buy a phone?
I mean, really, you can get iPhones, you can get with any provider. I can't think of any provider that does not provide the iPhone, so.
Okay, but my problem is they don't really teach you how to use it.
Okay, well, I can help you with that. So there at the Lighthouse, we do provide training on assistive technology. We work with both low vision and completely blind users. If you are needing any training on something like the iPhone or Android or PC, you can contact the Lighthouse and ask for the assistive technology
Is it also
department.
at the New Braunfels Lighthouse?
No, every lighthouse is different.
Okay, because I don't live close to the lighthouse.
Okay, we do offer some remote training.
Okay.
We can't do everything remotely, but if, contact me, call the Lighthouse and ask for the assistive technology department. We
Okay,
can go over what things you might be trading on and you can see if we can offer it remotely.
thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, script talk.
Yes.
Does it also allow, have like a feature allow you to let you know when you need a refill? Right.
No, it's not gonna tell you that. Unless it's on the information's on the bottle itself, then that's all the information it's gonna read to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what is the name of the other thing that reads you the bars and?
that's called the ID Mate. The newest model is called the ID Mate Galaxy. The one I have here is called the ID Mate Quest, which is an older model. Yeah. But older is not always necessarily bad. I found that you can get a good deal on one, you can get an older model and it works just as well.
I made.
ID Mate, yes. And this one's ID Mate Quest.
And just for everyone's information, I will make sure that the recording is uploaded to the SA Lighthouse YouTube site sometime this week.
All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you all for coming. We're really enjoyed having you here.
I hope to hear from you soon.
Yes.
I'm in one of those 200 and something.
Yay, thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
I have a question.